hotel. After coming back from being a driver on a road trip with the Knots to Portland, Seattle, and back to San Francisco, I moved into the Broadway Hotel. I don't know if I was the first of our crowd there, probably not. In those times, Xperia, her boyfriend, and I were part of the first pet rock band, the Skullheads. We were passing our first record around, which was really just a white piece of paper with black magic marker spirals drawn on it to resemble a record. We were kind of a conceptual band. We had shaved heads, and we demanded that everybody play this on their record player, which ruined their stylus. We were also featured in the new San Francisco punk rock magazine, Seek and Ignore. Xperia was my best friend, and she and I were working on another band concept where she would play electric violin, I'd be the lead singer, and perhaps write and play some of the music, either on bass or guitar, none of which I knew how to play. I owned a very small $5 guitar that I had bought in a toy section at Sears. It was made of balsa wood, and it had stickers of superheroes all over it. And it actually worked, and I think it was a Superman guitar for children. It had a very loud, annoying sound, which I used to great advantage by scratching and banging the guitar instead of just playing notes. Chords were the closest I could get to music, although some of the chords I invented were sort of jazzy or pop sounding, not punk at all. Our Lady of the Gutters lived in the hotel, as well as Uncle Vito, who was an older black man, and he could mainline anyone, anywhere, anytime. He was the perfect man to have around. But I can inject myself, thank you. But I did let Uncle Vito take me to my room more than once and just lay in bed, TV on or music playing, while mainlining hits of speed, methamphetamine, which is not like today's speed. Then we would have sex, and he would fuck me with this blunt instrument that was his cock, and we would do hits of speed, which would open me up for his cock, and after endless hours of that, you know what would happen? I'd get more drugs. It wasn't about the sex for me, it was the high and the next bigger high that I wanted. Our ladies' quarters were dark and gloomy, and I had tried never to venture in there because it smelled of death and stale smoke, kind of like a 6th Street flop house, which we don't have anymore. She kept roses till they rotted. Her room was kind of Morticia Addams Family style. She was all illusion, which is why she lived in the dark. I myself lived in the shadows and the light, though not for very long. And I preferred the light of a stage. She also burnt candles in there on her altar to some virgin whore. At the time I was working on a song that went, Mary, Mary, whore of God, raped and nailed to the cross. It's no wonder I hate my mother. No Catholic guilt. So I thought religion was for idiots. For me, it was about the power of revolution, love, anarchy, and noise. That was my credo. No Hail Marys for me. But there were definitely those Catholic creeps in our crowd. Even Sammy Spermicidal was a Catholic schoolboy student. And so there were a lot of runaway schoolgirl types too. Some of them lived in the Broadway Hotel as well. So in a way, we were kind of taking over the building. So in Los Angeles, they had their Canterbury Hotel, and the New Yorkers had their Chelsea Hotel. And it was the place where queers and misfits and punk rockers and artists and poets and musicians and dealers and pimps and junkies and whores were all denizens together and lived together in some kind of situation. Well, behind some of the rooms in the Broadway Hotel, you never knew what would go on. You would hear screams, and then in others you would see nothing. No one ever went in and out, never. And that scared me. So I waited for my chance to become a full diva like I deserved to be. I schemed and I prepared and I manipulated with sex and drugs and booze and lies and art and creation and punk and noise and visions and dreams and tortured nightmares of erotic reality until I was who I said I was. I was a punk Warhol superstar with a target on my back and a safety pin through my Maryland ripped t-shirt. My beginnings had begun, but my end was near.